Good morning, class 6. How are you all? Hope you all will be fine in your home. So, students, we have completed the portion of chapter number 8, getting to know plants. Okay, up to leaves. Leaves we have completed. Now, today's class is started from flowers, the last portion of the same chapter. Flower. Hope you will all done your previous work with the diagrams and everything. Students, okay? If you have done your work, please comment me in the comment section. Yes, ma'am, we have done our work along with the diagram, the homeworks which you have given. Okay, students, now we are going to start the topic flower. Okay, the last topic of the same chapter, page number 96. So here you can see the structure of a flower. See the structure of a flower, how its flower look like. In your book, figure 8.26 parts of flower is there. So from the book or from the video, you can draw the diagram of parts of flower. This is your homework for today. Okay, draw this diagram carefully. So flowers are the most beautiful part of a plant. Different parts have different types of flowers. Okay, as we all know that this flower is a beautiful part of the plant, and different plants have different types of flowers. Figure 8.25 kinds of flower you can see in your book, hibiscus and rose. They are different types of flower, and their parts, their types, they are different. In many flower, their sizes, shapes, colors are different in different plants, and there are different kind of fragrance. उनकी जो smell होती है, their fragrance are also of different kind. Okay, first I will show you one video related to flower, then after we will start our class. See the video, student.
Flower. Condensed shoot useful for reproduction in angiosperms is called flower. Famous scientists like Linnaeus, Gasperid Bowen, Goethe, de Candolle described flower as a modified stem. Parts of a typical flower: thalamus or torus, the apical part of the pedicel. It contains nodes and condensed internodes. From the nodes, modified leaves called floral leaves are developed. These floral leaves are arranged in the form of whorls at the nodes. Floral leaves. In a typical flower, 4 sets of floral leaves are present. They are 1. Calyx, 2. Corolla, 3. Androecium, and 4. Gynoecium or pistil. Perianth. Calyx and corolla together called as perianth. The first whorl calyx and second whorl corolla, perianth, are non-essential organs of the flower. Androecium and gynoecium are essential organs of the flower. They involve in reproduction. Structure of a flower. Anterior side, the bracts side of the flower. Posterior side, the mother axis side of the flower. Bract. Flowers develop in the axils of specialized leaves called bracts. Bracteate. Flowers with bracts. Abracteate. Flowers without bracts. Pedicel. Stalk of the flower. Pedicellate. Flowers with pedicel. Sessile. Flowers without pedicel. Bracteole. The small leaf-like structures present on the pedicel. Bracteolate. Flowers with bracteoles. Abracteolate. Flowers without bracteoles. Complete flower. Flower with all 4 floral parts. Incomplete flower. Flower in which any one of the part is absent. Sexuality of the flower. Bisexual flower. Flower with both androecium and gynoecium. Unisexual flower. Flower with either androecium or gynoecium. Male flower or staminate flower. Unisexual flower with androecium. Female flower or pistillate flower. Unisexual flower with gynoecium. Sex distribution of plants. Based on the sexuality of the flowers, the sex distribution is of three types. Monoecious plant. Plant with male and female flowers. Examples: Cocos nucifera, Acalypha. Dioecious plant. Plant with either male or female flowers. Male plant. Dioecious plant with male flowers. Female plant. Dioecious plant with female flowers. Example: Borassus, Vallisneria. Polygamous plant. Plant with unisexual male and female flowers and bisexual flowers. Examples: Mangifera, Polygonum. Thank you.
So class 6, enjoying the video? Very good. So here you see the flowers, that different flowers have different type of color and everything about you have understand about flower. Their color, their shape, sizes, fragrance is different. Some common flowers are hibiscus, rose, jasmine, sunflower, marigold and lily. We can see this flower. They are some common flowers. Flowers can reproductive organ of the parts. Flowers contain the reproductive organ of the parts. In the same class, I will show you the dissection of flower, the video of dissection of flower. By this video, you are able to understand what is the male and female reproductive part of flower. First, we will discuss about their parts of flower and everything. Then we will see the video. So, through the video, we are able to understand the reproductive organs of the flower, because flower contains the reproductive organs of the plant. Okay, now this flower is attached by a stalk which is called as pedicel. In this before 2 or 3 minutes back, you will see one slide in which you have seen the pedicel. Okay, flower attached to the pedicel. See the figure. Green structure is called pedicel and above it the fleshy structure is called thalamus. Figure 8.26 you have seen, in that thalamus is there. Okay, and some flowers do not have pedicels and are called as sessile flowers. The flowers which do not have pedicels, they are called as sessile flowers. See the parts of flower, you have seen the pedicel and thalamus both. Now parts of flower. First, sepals, petals, stamens and pistil. There are 4 main types of parts of flower is there: sepals, petals, stamen and pistil. Sepals, the green leaf-like parts in the outermost circle of the flower are called sepals. The green outermost part, देखो वहाँ पे figure 8.26 में sepals, you have seen the sepals, जो small green color के जो leaf-like parts होते हैं, they are called as sepals. Now petals, they are usually bright color. जो उसकी पंखुड़ी होती है, हिंदी में पंखुड़ी बोलते हैं, they are colored due to the pigments, types of pigments present in the petals. Okay, the petals are bright color because they attract the insects, which helps in the pollination, which we will discuss in the last of the chapter. Okay students, what is pollination? Okay, so here we will see the petals, sepals, stamen, pistil. Stamen male reproductive part and pistil female reproductive part. Thalamus and pedicel, these are the parts of the plant. Now stamen, third part we will discuss in detail is stamen. Stamen is the male reproductive part of flower. These stamens are usually 4 to 6 in number. Okay, and each stamen has consist of a thin stalk which is called as filament and 2-lobed head called the anther. See the structure of stamen. head of the anther, you have seen the anther and the filament. They are two lobed. Okay. Each another lobe has pollen sacs. This lobe has the pollen sacs in which the pollen grains are present. What? The pollen grains are present. The pollen grains are yellow in color as you have seen in the picture. Dust like particles, small particles रहते हैं जैसे dust होता है वैसे, which contain male sex of the flowering part. Which these pollen grains contain the male sex of the flowering plant. Okay, stamen is the male reproductive part. Okay, not the male sex. And these pollen grains which are present in the anther, they are the male sex cells of the flowering plant. Okay students, now you have to draw figure 8.26, figure 8.27 and figure 8.28 in your copy. Okay, the three of the diagram you have to draw in your copy. Now the fourth part is pistil, the female reproductive part of flower. Pistil is the female reproductive part of the flower. It is present in the center of the flower and flask shape organ called pistil. इसको तुम लोग देखोगे तो फ्लास्क जैसा स्ट्रक्चर दिखाई देता है, ठीक है. This is the female reproductive part and this pistil is consist of stigma, style and ovary as you have seen in the picture. Stigma, the upper part, style, the middle part, pipe-like structure, ovary, the last one, and the whole part is called as female reproductive organ. This stigma receives the pollen grain which is present in the same flower, receive the pollen grains. These pollen grains are carried to the ovary through style. वो जो style दिया हुआ है pipe like structure, जब वो stigma में pollen grain आता है तो through this style this reaches to the ovary. Okay, like this the pollination takes place in a flowering plant. This style joined to the stigma and to the ovary. Okay, one more topic is there, bisexual flower and unisexual flower. So let me explain you. The flowers which have both stamen and pistil are called as bisexual. Bi means two. ठीक है, एक फ्लावर में जब दोनों सेक्स ऑर्गन प्रेजेंट हो, मेल और फीमेल, द स्टेमन एंड द पिस्टिल, दैट टाइप ऑफ फ्लावर्स आर कॉल्ड एज बाइसेक्सुअल फ्लावर्स. ओके, फॉर एग्जाम्पल मस्टर्ड एंड चाइना रोज, हेबिस्कस चाइना रोज जिसको बोलते हैं, वो बाइसेक्सुअल फ्लावर है. क्यों? क्योंकि इसमें बोथ मेल एंड फीमेल सेक्स ऑर्गन दोनों प्रेजेंट है, रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन्स. ओके, मेल एंड फीमेल, स्टेमन and pistil. Okay, then unisexual flower, the flowers which have either pistil or stamen are called as unisexual flower. Uni means single, मतलब ऐसे flower जिसमें या तो stamen present होगा या तो pistil, या तो male reproductive part या तो female reproductive part. That type of flowers are called as unisexual flowers. For example, cucumber and bottle gourd. These are the two plants which have only single parent is present, whether it is either stamen or pistil. Okay, bisexual means both the male and female reproductive part is present, and unisexual means only single reproductive part is present, whether they are stamen or pistil. Okay students, hope you will all understand this topic. Okay, before going through the other topic, I will show you one video in which the dissection of flower you will see. Dissection means flower के अलग अलग part को अलग करके दिखाएंगे. Okay, that is called as dissection of flower. See the video student, enjoy. So students, enjoy the video. In that video you have seen the dissection of flower one by one, the sepals, petals, pollen grains, style, stigma, ovary, ovules, everything you have seen of the flower. Okay, the whole process is called as dissection. जब हम किसी चीज़ किसी थिंग्स को अलग अलग पार्ट में उसके जो इंटरनल ऑर्गन एक्सटर्नल ऑर्गन है सबको देखते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज डिसेक्शन. सो इन द वीडियो यू हैव सीन द डिसेक्शन ऑफ फ्लावर. अलग अलग पार्ट, पहले सेपल्स को अलग किए होंगे, फिर पेटल्स को, फिर उसके स्टेमन को निकालेंगे, स्टेमन से पोलन ग्रेन्स, देन आफ्टर द डिसेक्शन ऑफ pistil will be there, style, stigma, ovary. In the last, the yellow portion you have seen which is look like ovary. Okay, this is called as dissection of flower. Now the last topic of the same chapter is function of the flower. So here are the function of flower. So one name is there, pollination. You have heard. So I will tell you कि हम last में पढ़ेंगे उसको. Now we are going to start the pollination. The main function of the flower is the production of seeds and fruit. As we all know that this is the main function of the flower, the production of seeds and food. So how these seeds and fruit were formed? The fruits and the seeds are formed in a flower by the process of pollination and fertilization. The process of pollination and fertilization, by these two processes, the seeds and fruits were formed in a flower. So look how this fertilization and pollination takes place. The transfer of pollen grains from another to the stigma. Okay, transfer of pollen grain from another to the stigma of a pistil is called pollination. ठीक है, जो pollen grains है मेल पार्ट है, उनका ट्रांसफर होता है फीमेल पार्ट में, यानी कि स्टिग्मा में. स्टिग्मा ऑफ द पिस्टिल इज कॉल्ड पॉलिनेशन. अब ये कैसे होता है? ठीक है, अब इसको देखते हैं हाउ इट इज पॉसिबल. When pollen grains fall on the stigma, they move down through the tube called style and reaches the ovary. Inside the ovary, the male sex cells present. The pollen grains fuse with the female sex present in the ovules. अब ये अपने आप तो होता नहीं होगा. What will happen when this male reproductive part, pollen grains, reaches to the stigma through style to the small pipe-like structure style? It will reaches to the ओवरी. ओवरी में क्या प्रेजेंट है? ओवम, ओव्यूल्स प्रेजेंट है, फीमेल सेक्स ऑर्गन. ठीक है, फीमेल सेक्स सेल्स. अब ये जो मेल सेक्स सेल है उस ओवरी को क्या करता है? फ्यूज करता है. दे ज्वाइन टुगेदर एंड दिस मेल सेक्स प्रेजेंट इन द पोलन ग्रेन्स फ्यूज द फीमेल सेक्स प्रेजेंट इन द ओव्यूल्स. ठीक है, उसको वो फ्यूज करता है. द फ्यूजन ऑफ मेल एंड फीमेल सेक्स सेल्स इज कॉल्ड फर्टिलाइजेशन. पॉलिनेशन क्या हुआ? पोलन ग्रेन्स रीचेस टू द stigma or pollen grains reaches to the pistil. This is called pollination. ठीक है, and the fusion takes place between male sex cells and female sex cells. It is called as fertilization. Pollination क्या हुआ? जब वो मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव पार्ट फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सेल के पास चला गया. This is called pollination, and the fusion, they combine together, male and female, and the fusion takes place between male sex cells and female sex cells. It is called as fertilization. Okay, this is called as fertilization. So how this pollination takes place? This pollination takes place through insects or by wind. Insects क्या करते हैं? पहले मेल फ्लावर पे बैठते हैं, वो वहाँ से pollen grain स्टिक हो जाता होगा उनके हाथ और उनके पैर में. Then they will allow to sit in the female reproductive part called pistil. ठीक है, through this pollen get transferred to the female reproductive part pistil. ठीक है, so wind, air, honeybees, insects are the responsible for the pollination process. So after fertilization, the ovules, जो ovules fuse होते हैं male reproductive part से, that will grow and become a seed. ओके, वो ओव्यूल्स क्या करते हैं? सीड बन जाते हैं. एंड द ओवरी ऑफ द फ्लावर्स ग्रोज एंड बिकम द फ्रूट. और जो ओवरी रहता है, जो आउटर पोर्शन रहता है, जो ओव्यूल्स को कवर करके रखता है, वो क्या बन जाते हैं? फ्रूट बन जाते हैं. ओके, विथ इनसाइड इट्स सीड. अब वो बाहर का जो पोर्शन है वो फ्रूट बन गया, और जो अंदर में जो ओव्यूल्स थे वो सीड्स बन गए. तो क्या करेगा? फ्रूट कवर करके रखता है शीड को. And the fruit protects the seeds. The other part of the flower dry up and fall off. और जो अदर पार्ट होते हैं जैसे कि पेटल, सेपल्स, दे ड्राई एंड दे विल fall. So this is the process of pollination and fertilization. First, male pollen transferred to female stigma. This is called pollination, and the female part through style it reaches to the ovules, okay, जो ovary में present है, and this male sex fuse the female sex ovule pollen, and the fusion will takes place, and the fusion of male sex through and female sex is called fertilization. ठीक है, after fertilization what will happen, the ovules present inside the ovary grow and becomes the seed, and the ovary becomes the fruit, and rest part of the flower will dry up and remove, okay. This is called as seed germinates to become a baby plant. Then after we will use the seed which is used to become a baby plant. So fruit भी हम लोग यूज़ कर लेते हैं, और seed जो बचता है उसको नया plants grow करने के लिए यूज़ करते हैं. That is called as seed germinates, seed germination. So this is the process of pollination and fertilization in the plant. Okay students, hope you will understand the topic clearly. If you have any doubt then ask me. See the picture how the fruit becomes, and the if you see the cut portion of the fruit, you will see inside in the middle you have seen the seeds. So this ovules becomes the seeds, and the ovary, the outer portion, becomes the fruit, and these seeds further used for the growth of a new plant. And here in the picture you have seen how this insects take the pollen and it will be transferred to the pistil of the same flower or from the other flower. So students, hope you will all like the class today. Please listen the video carefully and you are able to understand the things. Okay, if you have any doubt then ask me. And students, please do your work, do complete your work. I will ask you whether you have completed or not, and draw the diagram which I was given you as a homework today. Okay students, in the next class we will start our new chapter, chapter number 9, body movements. Till then, take care of yourself and please study students, because study is very important. Okay, take care of yourself. See you in the next class. Thank you so much.